Hello. Okay, before we get started, I want to make sure that I'm getting this shared. Copy. Let's see. Wind is blowing outside. Can you guys hear everything tipping over? Okay, let's see. All right, so just to make sure that everybody, good morning, Amy. You just want to hear winners again, huh? Same thing, maybe? Just joking. Hope everything's going well. It's no snow here. Actually, the wind is blowing like crazy, but yeah, it's really sunny here. Are you getting snow? You're not that far away from me. Good morning, Tanya. Oh, he knows. Does he know that it's already spent? Hi, you guys. My name is Jessie. I am with Decker Truck Line. Probably do an introduction here for you so you know what's going on. Can you see my sign? There we go. And buddy, we'll find out. So we're going to talk about, we talked a little bit about this on our Facebook page yesterday, but we are going to talk about 2018, looking back on it and what it entailed and what we've done and all the improvements. So during all of this, we will talk about some of our current positions too, because that's part of what's happening here at Decker. So for that matter, feel free to call our recruiters if you have any questions. 888-668-0698. Let's see if I can, 888-668. I can't type it unless I say it. There we go. We're good. Excellent. So talking about 2018, so much happened during that. Where to start? We started off with a new bonus program, pay increase. So we have on your 1-year anniversary, when you start with Decker, as of right now, on your 1-year anniversary, you get a $5,000 bonus. If you started with our Midwest refrigerated, our Midwest flatbed, our over-the-road flatbed out of Bessemer, Alabama, and our over-the-road refrigerated out of Missoula, Montana. So $5,000 bonus. You must get 100,000 miles for the flatbed and 110,000 miles for refrigerated or van. We have a van position as well. That was new in 2018. And that also would account for that. And that's for over-the-road positions. Our local positions or our regional positions, they have their own pay structure. So some of them have it, some of them don't. There you go. So that's where we started. I'm just diving right in. So if you guys have questions, put them in the chat box. If you want to know on a certain location, put it in the chat and I'll get to it as soon as possible. But in the meantime, I'll weave in and out of what we've got going on here at Decker. Like I said, 2018, looking back, reflecting a little bit. So we had our pay increase with a lot of other companies had their pay increase at the beginning of the year. And that's probably why we did another increase. And then we reevaluated the whole pay structure to accommodate numbers and make sure that we could max out for all of you guys. So that being said, when we redid the pay structure back at the beginning of the year, it was changed because of the 2018 tax reform. So what you may or may not know is if you, like in the past, you've been able to claim per diem on your taxes as an over-the-road driver. Now you can only claim them if your company is providing them to you. So we have upped our ante. We've increased our per diem to 10 cents from the 8 cents that we have had in the last, we've had it the last 6-7 years, I think. 8 years maybe. I'm trying to think of how long we've had the per diem. But we did up it, so it is now 10 cents per diem included in all of the over-the-road pay. And you can take advantage of that per diem program now. So part of that tax reform, like I said. So the pay, just the basic pay structure for some of our different divisions, let's talk about that so you know what you're getting into and how much you can make. With the over-the-road flatbed pay out of Bessemer, Alabama, this is for experienced flatbedders. You're looking at anywhere from 48, well, for any experience, you're going to look at 47 to 54 cents a mile. And that's going to be on all dispatch miles, so loaded and empty. And that's going to be the same for any of our other positions. It's loaded and empty. It's all dispatch miles, the 10 cents per diem. So in all of them. Now, if you are a student just coming out of a PTDI certified school or a minimum of 160-hour course, then you can get an additional, you'd start at the 44 cents a mile and then work your way up to the 47 by the end of the first year. But when you first come out of school, then you'll get the $500 a week training pay while you're with a trainer. And training is anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks, depending on how you do. And usually it's closer to the 5 week. Now, we also have training opportunities for people who have got a little bit of experience, just minimal, like maybe 3 months, 4 months of experience with another company, and maybe it didn't work out for them. So then they're transitioning into maybe into Decker. So at that point, you again would start at $500 a week for a couple of weeks. Could be anywhere from 1 to 5 weeks, depending on the amount of experience. Basically, anything under a year is considered training possibility. And then you'll be working your way from 44 cents after those weeks, 44 cents to 47 cents a mile in the flatbed division. Now, that being said, if you have 6, 7, 8 months of experience and you take an extended evaluation basically with us when you're in orientation, that can determine that you don't need to go with a trainer. So then you wouldn't have the $500 a week. You'd start at the cents per mile. So if that's the case, then you'd have to basically test out of that. So, hey, Anthony, good to see you. So Havoc says, how long do drivers have to drive until they have to take a break for a few hours? That's going to be depending on the load that they have and, the load they have and how they've scheduled themselves. So if you're going to be, if you're on a longer length of haul, basically, and you've planned out your day accordingly, that's up to you. We're not telling you, as long as you're sticking to DOT, that's fine. But as long as you're sticking to DOT, we're not telling you how long you have to drive before you take a break. Make sure you're in the DOT regulations. That's all I ask. And as long as you're managing your time, you'll be fine. Anthony Spencer, till they need to work. Oh yeah, sorry. Well, the DOT. Sorry. He answered for me. Thank you very much. So is that your question answered, hopefully? If not, ask away and we'll continue. So with the refrigerated divisions, if you are looking for training, then you would start in the Midwest refrigerated. We would start you off at 40 cents a mile and work your way to 43 cents a mile by the end of the first year. Again, the $500 for training is going to be the same whether you're in flatbed or refrigerated, and no matter which division or van. So no matter which division, the $500 a week is what you get while you're training with a trainer during that time. Once you've done with the training, that's when the cents per mile is actually going to be different depending on the division that you chose. So crystal clear, the over-the-road refrigerated division out of Missoula, Montana, that one's going to start you at 38 cents a mile and work your way to 41 cents a mile by the end of the first year. Now, we get a lot of questions on why the difference between the two refrigerated divisions and why not with, why not the flatbed. So the difference really that we see is that with the over-the-road refrigerated that's based out of Missoula, Montana, we pay a little bit less per mile on that, but that's because the length of haul is over 1,100. Whereas our length of haul out of the Midwest is around 400 to 600. So 400 to 500 is pretty darn common. So really, ultimately you're making about the same amount of money because on a weekly basis, because it's all based off of the type of miles that you're running. So to be more precise, to get a little bit more detailed, with the over-the-road refrigerated out of Missoula, Montana, if you are on a shorter length of haul, you're going to get anywhere from 7 to 25 cents more per mile. Whereas if you're in the Midwest, you're going to get 5 to 20 cents more per mile, 2 to 20 cents more per mile in the Midwest refrigerated. So there's a 5-cent difference between the two on our short haul pays, but that's because our short haul, like our over the road pay, is more a reflection of the Missoula terminal, and so that's it really evens out. So that's a question we get all the time. Just want to make sure that you understand why the difference. The $5,000 bonus is going to be for the same for both, like I mentioned, and you need to run a minimum of 110,000 miles to get that on your 1-year anniversary, and it pays in one lump sum. So one whole chunk on your 1-year anniversary. So there you have it. That was a little bit of detail on our pay structure. It's called a sign-on bonus, but you get it on your 1-year anniversary. So I'm going to call it a longevity bonus. So you get that on your 1-year anniversary. Also that we've changed is the scorecard. So I did this yesterday. Oh, here it is. So we have a new scorecard. If you're not familiar with it, it's going to look something like this. If you go to our website, you can get a sneak peek at it. It's not really a sneak peek, but it's out there for you if you want to take a look at it on our website. I'm going to find that link for you so that you can get it if you want. Let's see. Anyways, what it is it has changed from the previous quarterly bonus. This is our performance bonus. So what we previously had as a quarterly bonus, we now have as a monthly bonus. And it goes up to an extra 4 cents a mile for the company drivers and an extra 3 cents a mile for our owner operators. So here's the link in the chat box if you want to take a look at. It just kind of breaks down how it pays, what factors go into play for the scorecard. This scorecard is used for a lot of different bonuses, different incentives, really, more than just the bonus itself. So what we've done is we've given you a chance to have more wins within the year than you have in previous years with us. So with a scorecard, you can get a monthly bonus of extra 4 cents a mile, like I mentioned, and it's going to be based off of your miles, number of miles ran, your claims, service failures, preventable accidents, your CSA score, which is really important. We all recognize how important that has been here in the last few years. Your miles per gallon and your idle time. So if you want more information on that, I did put the link on there. It does go over one of the videos that we had before on breaking down all of the different, different things. Things is going to be my word. The different measurements of the performance scorecard. So these are all the different items, points that you are broken down for the pay. Broke down for the pay. That's what I want. The point breakdown. That's what I wanted to say. Miles per gallon is a factor for the company drivers. So with the owner operators, so what I just listed for you is owner operators, or excuse me, what I just listed for you is company drivers. Owner operators, there we go, Anthony, I'm getting there. So miles, claims, service failures, preventable accidents, and CSA score, those are the factors for the owner operators. So lease purchase and owner operators, miles, claims, service failures, preventable accidents, and CSA scores. Those are it. Well, no, it's actually the miles per gallon. The fuel compliance, idle time, definitely. The fuel compliance and the miles per gallon run. I don't think it's the fuel compliance. According to my score sheet, it's only the miles per gallon. So I'll talk to Darren and clarify on that. Okay, so that's, Anna, you have the same thing. Okay. Yeah, the miles per gallon, the more, the better miles per gallon that you have, the more points you get to pad your numbers. You want to get closer to 1,000 points on your scorecard. The closer you are to 1,000 points, the more likely you are to get the full 4 cents a mile. So it basically runs, if you're going to get 800 to anything less than 825 points is not going to get a monthly bonus. And we want to see you guys all get that bonus. All of these bonuses that we've had, all these structures were designed to actually pay out. So we want to see you get them. 825 points to 899 points is going to be an extra penny per mile. And obviously we want to, the better you do is you're going to get more money because we want to see your numbers up there. And the better you do, the better we do, because obviously that's the reflection of it. So 900 points to 949 points is going to be an extra 2 cents a mile. 950 to 999 is going to be an extra 3 cents a mile. And a perfect score of 1,000 is 4 cents a mile. And I'm trying to think the percentage. I don't know what these last few months were, but oh, Anna, thank you. So 236 drivers were paid monthly bonus last month. We want to see that number increase every single month. So we are working to see bigger and better numbers for each of our drivers. We have, we've got Patrice over there trying to coach, get your numbers up higher, let you know what it is that you're struggling with so that we can perfect those numbers. So that's the number points system that I just gave you. That's actually company position that I was talking about. Now with the owner operators, it's 1 to 3 cents, like I said. So Anthony, 850 to 924 points, that's an extra penny per mile. 925 to 974 is an extra 2 cents a mile. And as an owner operator, anywhere from 974 points to 1,000 points is going to pay you the full 3 cents a mile. So last year, 28. Okay. So last year, 28% of our company drivers hit the bonus. We want higher numbers. So we want to see bigger and better. Now, with the 236 drivers, that's roughly a third of our fleet. So it's increased a little bit. We constantly want to see the better numbers for you guys, because if we're paying out, that just means that you're just doing that much better. That because again, our miles are going to be more, our claims are going to be less, our CSA score is going to be better. No service failures. The better we see as a company, the better we become as a company, obviously, or better you become as a driver, we become as a company, since we are only here because you are here. So we want to see those go up. So Anthony, I was trying to think if there's any other. Yes, we do have other incentives for the scorecard. So that scorecard bonus, that's the monthly bonus. Now you also, if your scorecard numbers are high, if you're one of the top 3 in your division, then we have the driver of the month. So that's a driver of the month opportunity. And the driver of the month, there's a variety of things. There's a gift card to our store, which is, you can access that on our website. Do I have that in front of me here? I thought if I hit that, it would get it. Anyways, we have the store gift card that you can get as a nominee for driver of the month. We have the Walmart gift card. We have the monetary amounts. So for driver of the month, nominees and driver of the month, you get those. What else? You get the opportunity to get driver of the year. That's the big one, really big. So driver of the year, we celebrated actually last April. So driver of the year is calculated up, and come within the first quarter, usually we want to celebrate that. And the top drivers of each division are going to get $5,000 each. And then they also got their choice between a brand new car, a brand new Harley Davidson, or this year, the equivalent in cash. So like I said before, the biggest deal to me is, those prizes are amazing as it is. Who wouldn't want a brand new Harley Davidson, even though I can't drive it, but how awesome would that be? However, a lot of times when you win things, then you have that hefty tax that just piles right onto it. and Decker will take care of all that. So you're not, I mean, you really are a winner in the ordeal. So like I was saying, backing up just a little bit to the driver of the month, to get those rewards. And you have the 3 nominees, or the 3 people that are nominated from the top 3 of the drivers in each of those divisions. And then they are distributed to each of our departments to be voted on for the top driver of the month that month. So every month we go through that process and then reward somebody for the driver of the month. So, and yeah, and you can see our driver of the month information. Let's see if we can get you our recent driver of the month. It can be found all the time on our Facebook page. And for driver of the month, you can also access that. Let's see if I can get that for you. Maybe. You'll see something like this. Here you go. That's coming from our blog that we keep it updated as well. So if you go to drivedecker.com/blog, then it'll be on there telling you who our driver of the months are. So there you go. And that's just the payout and how everything is paid out on that. So the scorecard comes in handy, not only in our monthly bonus, but also in our driver of the month, and then the ultimate driver of the year. So you must be a driver of the month in order to qualify for the running of driver of the year. Okay. So what else have we done in the last year or so? Well, in 2018. So also here at Decker, we've started to play some more games. We brought in lease purchase. Now we had lease purchase in the past, kind of put on hold for a while so that we could revamp it and figure out what would be best for the lease purchase option. It's hard to have a good balance for lease purchase. So it took some time to do that. And now we offer it in both our refrigerated and flatbed divisions. So in our over-the-road refrigerated out of Missoula, Montana, we've had that there for a while. We still are offering that in our over-the-road refrigerated. And now our over-the-road flatbed out of Bessemer, Alabama, and both our Midwest refrigerated and Midwest flatbed out of Fort Dodge, Iowa. So you have lease purchase in all of those divisions. Now for the over-the-road, any questions that you might have on this, make sure that you get a hold of one of the recruiters because your state might not have it. So there are about 13 states that we don't offer the lease purchase program in. So call a recruiter at 888-668-0698 to clarify for more information on that. You can also leave it in the chat and we'll take care of you and answer it that way. That being said, the lease purchase for both divisions does require that you are a company driver for 90 days first, and then you'll have a $1,500 down payment for the truck. And you can, if you don't have the $1,500 down right off the bat, you can put it aside through each payment or through each settlement, and then have that set aside so into an escrow temporarily until you do the lease purchase. So you can like basically expand it out for the 90 days. You can expand it to, which I think would be about $113 a week, or you can do it for 120 days, cut that in half, 55 or so. So yes, no lease purchase in California, Colorado, Connecticut, DC, Illinois, Massachusetts, Maine, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, PA, and Vermont. Anthony, that we don't have it in those areas. So the $1,500 down payment. Okay, before I get to that $1,500 down payment, those are definitely tougher ones, and most of them we don't run anyway, so it doesn't affect you. The 90 days as a company driver, that's what I wanted to talk about. So running as a company driver first is a good way for basically for you to evaluate whether or not the lease purchase is going to be a good fit for you. For us to evaluate whether or not the lease purchase is going to be a good fit for you as well. This is, again, where the scorecard comes in handy, because if your numbers aren't high on our scorecard, if they're not high enough to maintain good miles, if your service failures are down, anything like that, then we have a good inkling based off of that scorecard, good reading, that you may not be successful at the lease purchase. And we don't want someone getting in to the lease purchase, roped in per se. I know a lot of you guys feel that you're roped in by other companies. We don't want that. That lease purchase is available to you because it's been requested by drivers. So that's why we've made it available. And we tried to do a great balance of it. And it is hard because you have the whole team of Decker behind it. And so a lot of people don't necessarily recognize what all it takes in order to have a successful business, which is exactly what the lease purchase or an owner operator is. So having good numbers before you go into the lease purchase is a reassurance. But of course, once you are in lease purchase, you need to maintain those numbers to be successful. Not everybody is cut out for lease purchase, just plain and simple, which is okay. The company is great too. You've got good benefits and 401k with a 30% match. So that's increased to 30%. Company paid life insurance, paid vacation, 1 week after 1 year, 2 after 3, 3 after 7. What else am I missing? You've got several different insurances that you have the options of including as well. Now, with our lease purchase and our owner operator, we do suggest that you work with, what's the abbreviation? Out of Colorado. So we do have an insurance that we can help you work with. You were not, Anthony, you're so full of malarkey. ATBS, you rock. Thank you. I knew you were here to help me out. Anthony says he was roped into it. He's full of malarkey. So yes, and he does a great job, by the way. I'll put your 2 cents in for you, even though you're giving me a hard time. All right, so what else? That's our lease purchase program. So with the flatbed, it's $675 a week, and it's $650 a week for the refrigerated. Now there is a balloon payment at the end, but a lot of the term and everything is all depending on how or what year of truck you've chosen. So if you have a brand new truck, you're looking at a 4-year term. And if you've got a truck that's a year old, a 2-year-old, then you're going to be looking at, if it's a 2-year-old truck, it's a 2-year term. It's a 3-year, or if it's a 1-year-old truck, it's going to be a 3-year term. So there you have it. Now that's for the lease purchase. And again, more details on that, you can get a hold of one of the recruiters at 888-668-0698. In the beginning of March, we also changed our orientation a little bit, I think this is something that you're always trying to figure out the best, there's always a way that you can improve. So you want to be more productive, more efficient, and effective in the orientation class. So you need it. It's a great tool to have, introducing somebody into the company and making sure that they're well equipped before they go out on the road. So we did some restructuring there, and I think it's something that we're still considering other options to, trying to make it, like I said, more efficient. That being said, one of the things that we did add into our orientation was hair follicle, which is one of the drug testing. So we also do urinalysis, of course, for DOT, and the hair follicle. So for all of you who are interested in coming to Decker, if you didn't already know that, there you have it. And that, let's see, for more information, I think I'll have to get you a link for more information on the hair follicle testing so that you're more informed on that. So that is part of our orientation. Also part of our orientation is you have the road test, of course. We have both the PCE and the physical. The PCE is more like a range of motion or resistance. And then, of course, the driving test and going over our company policies and procedures, which is the majority of it, and making sure that you're well equipped with contact numbers and individuals, meeting your driver manager and all that good stuff, knowing the right people when you need something. I do have a YouTube video on lease purchase. Let's see if I can provide that for you. I do have, now speaking as I'm going through the lease, or as I'm going through the YouTube videos here, I do see that as a reminder, we've started implementing a lot of videos, like how-to videos, helpful tips, things like that for you guys, hoping that that will keep you educated and answering questions that you want to know, that you need to know, but you're not quite sure who to ask. So we've kind of come together and created some of those. There is one that has been extremely handy, is knowing how to chain your tires. Now this is, first off, you may not chain. It may be something that you never do, but you need to know how to do it, because if you get into a situation where you, here's the link to that, by the way. But the link, yeah. So there's the link to that. If you get into a position where you need to chain to get out of trouble, obviously you need to have known that before you even got into that position, but we really are relying on you. So please make the safe professional choice and chain to get out of trouble. Don't chain to get yourself into trouble. That'd be great if you avoided that. 3 months, it goes back. ATBS? Is that what you're talking about, Anthony? I would appeal to Darren, but I'm not positive that. Oh, yes. Okay. So Anthony was talking about the hair follicle test. Good point. It goes, so the hair follicle test, and a lot of people ask about that, is with the urinalysis, it's usually just a couple of days, I think. With the hair follicle test, it's supposed to go back 90 days. Everybody's hair grows a little bit different speed. So even though the testing measurements are meeting certain requirements, then, needs to be 1.5 inches long, that kind of thing. Then, or I think 1/4 inch long. Yeah, anyways, it's supposed to be 90 days. Well, everybody's hair grows a little bit different speed. So just because person A is, you take a sample from them at the same measurement as person B, it could be several days difference. So, I mean, it could be a month difference. Who knows? No, no. I didn't know how far up I was talking about, who all the uppers were. No, Darren's not going to have that right. So yes, but that was a good point. Thank you for the 3 months. And that's what it's supposed to be. So yes, where was I? I got sidetracked there. Oh, just providing you some helpful information. So we did provide you with like how to chain up. Even this time of year, what's common is running the reefer unit, or excuse me, running the APU unit, the Thermal King unit in the trucks. So if you're not familiar with how to do that, we will go ahead and provide you a link to that right now too, now that it's top of mind. So can I copy that? I can. This is the Thermal King APU. Now, all of our trucks are equipped with APU units. There you go. So that's going to show you how to use the unit. It's also going to give you some really helpful tips. Thanks to Matt. He actually did that video for me, and Corey out of Missoula as well. Between the two of them, we were able to get that information to you. There's a lot of tips on how to prevent issues with your Thermal King unit or with the APU in general, and a lot of information on just using it and how to troubleshoot. So it's pretty basic in the use, but if you need to troubleshoot, knowing where to go and where everything's located is really important when you're out on the road and you're not near any of our mechanics, you're not near any of our shops. So that hopefully will help you out and answer some of those questions for you. So find it useful, give me a thumbs up. Okay, what else can we do? So the $100 gift cards, also we've got that coming in. So we've been doing $100 Visa gift cards during orientation as well. That's not going to last forever, but we are doing that temporarily, and we're doing $800 for the week of orientation. We do split that orientation pay up, so you get $400 the first week. Once you've completed orientation, we'll give you a $400 comp check, and then you'll get the remainder $400 direct deposited to you on your first settlement. Let's see. Okay, I gotcha. Thanks, Anna. Okay, so that's on your first element. So here's, if I can get this to work. Okay, so yes, so that's going to be on your first element. So that's orientation pay. Orientation is basically a week long, and they are in Fort Dodge, Iowa, our corporate office, Bessemer, Alabama, and Missoula, Montana. So those are the locations that we have our orientations at. And pretty thorough process. We put you up in a hotel, and we take care of your meals and everything while you're here. And then we take care of transportation to get you here. And then we put you in the truck so you can start working. Get to work and make some money, huh? So that $100 is when you pass, once you pass your physical and everything. Okay. So it's usually on a Tuesday or so. Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on the week. So that's what that $100 is. So that's an increase. Like I said, we started providing you more of the information here in 2018 so that it's readily available. We've got our blog on our new website. So we revamped our website so it's a little more user-friendly. We realized that it wasn't quite. And we've also implemented a blog on it so that we could keep you up to date on any new policy changes, any updates like that, pay increases or games or anything like that. Just constant information for you that would be helpful, that can help you do a better job, help you to do your job at the top level. And then we'll do ours here as well, just to help support you. So the better that we are at supporting you, the better that you'll be doing as well. So we recognize that. And that's why we started implementing some of these videos, some of these live Q&As and all of that too. So also in addition to that, which kind of reminded me, we started a new policy changes, I guess, in June 15th of 2018. We changed a few things. A lot of the Q&As, a lot of just discussions with some of our fleet, while you're having discussions with your fleet managers, we've opened up doors where we can basically hear you out, and then we can talk about it and see what we can do about improving on certain areas. One of them being the speed of the trucks. So last year we had the speed set at 65 miles per hour. We have been able to increase the speed to 68 on the cruise and 65 on the pedal. So we did increase that. Again, that was effective as of June. So now we're at 68 miles per hour. The lane departure device. So had some people call in about that, say it was a bit annoying, and can we change it? Can we shut it off? Can we do whatever? And what we have come up with, we had a solution to actually get the new Fusion lane departure device, which is a lot less cranky. I'm just going to say cranky because I don't know how else to describe it, but that sounds like that's how it was. A lot less touchy and just more effective. So this is the Fusion lane departure system. And now I believe that all of the trucks, I'm pretty sure that all the trucks have now the Fusion device in them. What we had to do is deactivate some of them until they were up to date. So King, you do need to have a CDL, and as long as you have either just graduated from a recent CDL school that's qualified, basically PTDI certified, meaning it has to be here in the US, 48, and then you have a valid CDL and a valid state of residency, then we should be okay. So let me know if that's the case. If it is, then you can get a hold of one of our recruiters at 888-668-0698, and then we'll know for sure. So we'll ask the right questions, make sure. But yeah, you do need to be legal to drive here in the US, of course, and able to, well, clearly you can read, write, and speak English, so it looks like you're good. All right, so that's the lane departure device. Also one of the changes is the dog policy. We have not allowed dogs in the past, and as of the 15th of June, we allowed 35-pound dogs. We are now allowing 55-pound dogs. So it must be a non-aggressive breed, and we must have, of course, all the paperwork to show that you have the right, or that your dog has the right shots and everything. So all the paperwork for the shots. Now there is a $750 dog deposit for the policy, $150 down before you can even have the dog on the truck. Now $250 of that $750 is non-refundable. That's going to take care of the cleaning and everything for the truck if you were to move out of that truck and into a different one. So $100 down, excuse me, and $215 non-deductible. So anyways, let me know if you have more questions on that. You can get a hold of the recruiter at 888-668-0698. Yeah, no aggressive breeds, and the paperwork for service dogs is required as well. Navigation. So we've had navigation on our trucks for a while as well. So I mentioned, let's talk about what the trucks are equipped with. That's going to be helpful to you probably. So all of our trucks have APUs. They have refrigerators, bunk heaters, CB units, navigation, Sirius radio. They have the onboard scanners in the truck. Now you can also use the TransFlow app, but we have the onboard scanners in the truck as well. So they're really, really well equipped trucks. That being said, a common question is with the navigation in the Sirius radio. So navigation is now covered by Decker. So we basically cover the cost of navigation so that they are not only equipped in all of the trucks, but they are, you will be able to run them in all of the trucks. So I thought I had there it is. Here's an inside view of our sleepers, or of one of our Peterbilts. I think this will be helpful in knowing what to expect. Now this, I believe, is a 2018 truck. We've got some brand new trucks coming in right now that are, we actually have some Volvos coming in as well. There you go. I should have probably. There we go. We do have some Volvos coming in, and right now some Freightliner Evolutions. So those are pretty sharp trucks. Just ask Wade. He's got one handy and he enjoys it. So those are new trucks. They all are all automatics, stability control, Sirius radio. So with the Sirius radio, what's different is like navigation in the past, Sirius radio, you'll have to have the subscription, but all of the equipment is there. Whereas navigation, we take care of the subscription and everything for you. So there you have it. And we also implemented the Smart Drive system. And the Smart Drive system is onboard, inward, and outward facing cameras. And so those we actually implemented those back in June. And then we implemented those earlier in the year. Back in June, we extended it. So after 120 days for safe driving, if you have 120 days of safe driving, you can have the inward ones turned off. Now the inward ones only turn on if you have a critical event. So it's 10 seconds on either side of a critical event. But this way you'll have it turned off, so even at a critical event, they wouldn't pop on. Now that being said, you can turn them on yourself. Well, I don't know if you can turn them on once they've been deactivated totally, but if it's on the critical event mode, then you can turn them on yourself. Like if you see somebody coming up erratically behind you or coming at you, that way you can just click them on so that it's playing right away. So make sure that it doesn't miss the event. But that smart, the event recorder, smart drive system event recorder can be deactivated on the internal after 120 days. Of course, we keep the out ones on because that has saved our bacon, and we want to make sure that that continues to save our bacon. So, all right. So those are some of the company policies that we've changed back in June, and we've made some adjustments here in the last few months as well. I talked about some of the games that we've been playing. We started doing videos submissions for a chance to win cash. So we had some video submissions back in August, right before Driver Appreciation. And of course, Driver Appreciation, we always do something fun, and gifts for everybody that is able to come into one of our terminals. And then recently we just did our Over and Out Blackout, which was a game where you had to submit 12. There you go. You had to submit, basically you want to blackout. So you want to submit a picture for each of our squares, and the winners, actually, we were able to do 3 winners, would get cash. So you have a $500 prize, you have a $250, and you have a $100 prize. So we did reward 3 winners for that. You guys want to know who they were? So for number 3, for third place, for $100 was Gary Holstrom. He will be having that. If it's not already sent out, it'll be before Christmas. So a little bit of Christmas cash. Second place is Stephen Ferrara. And first place was Stephen George. So that was based off of making sure that you had a photo submission for each of those squares to get a blackout, like a bingo blackout. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt at the same time. And so you must have an accurate picture, and then of course a little creativity to go along with it. So congrats, super fun. $500 for Stephen George, $250 for Stephen Ferrara, and $100 for Gary Holstrom. So very cool. So those are type of things that we are starting to implement. And if you've been watching on our Facebook page, we've had 2 so far. We'll have 2 more. Guess that tune in this month. So we're doing that. If you haven't already guessed the tune, you need to go on and guess it. See if you can get them. There's a couple. I think there was one from the 3rd and one from the 6th. So if you want to see any of these pictures, Anna's keeping me on task. I like it. They are right here on our Facebook page. You see the pics. There you go. Facebook.com/DTL Inc. So that's where you can find our some of our pictures. So very fun. All right. What else can I tell you? Some of the new opportunities. Now, throughout the whole year, we've kind of woven in a lot of new opportunities. Don't know much about it, Ty. I don't know much about it at all. So he's asking about the Euro Truck Simulator. Don't know. Don't know. The new options that we've got right now, well, we have a new van option, which is a regional. Well, it's semi-dedicated is what it is. And it runs from Lincoln, Nebraska, along I-80 over to Gary, Indiana. Everything in between there, as well as Fort Wayne, Indiana, will have a weekly home time. Along with that, we also hire out of South Carolina and Georgia for that as well. That's right. So we'll hire out of that as well. So if that's actually out of Georgia and South Carolina, you're actually looking at 2 weeks out at a time, whereas along I-80, you're looking at weekly home time. So that's dedicated. Then you have the van position that's out of Chicago, Illinois, kind of Hammond, Chicago area. That one is home every other day, and very busy time of year for them right now. They stay pretty consistent, to be honest with you, all year round, but super duper this time of year. And that one is home every other day, and it's a 7 a.m. or excuse me, a 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. shifts. Now there are several different shifts, and they do fluctuate. So those 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. sometimes they start at 8 a.m., sometimes 7. They do fluctuate. So we need to kind of have a little bit of wiggle room when you hire on for that one. So that is one option. We have a local, a dedicated home nightly flatbed position out of Hammond as well. And that one runs from Hammond to East Chicago, back to Hammond, possibly back to East Chicago, possibly southern Wisconsin, southern Michigan, or Minnesota. What it is flatbed, and you're paid $100 for the first load in the day, and then $125 for the second load a day. So, yep. And if you're getting on a load for that position that's more than 200 miles, then you're going to get 47 cents a mile. It's a lot of night driving. Not necessarily a guarantee for home on the weekend, though. The days off will vary a little bit. Okay. Excellent. Thanks, Tanya. And thank you, Ms. Anna. So then we also have some refrigerated options that run into the Chicago, Illinois area. Actually, Chicago is full. Chicago, Hammond, Indiana area, pretty full of opportunities for you guys. We have a home every other day that runs from St. Joe, Missouri to Chicago. That one is going to pay anywhere from 43 to 50 cents a mile, depending on your experience. And again, every other day, you are running. That is a lot of late afternoon driving as well to evening driving, because you're usually picking up at the shipper in the late afternoon and headed out. It's roughly about 2,800 miles a week. Pretty consistent. For more information on that, you can get a hold of one of our recruiters at 888-668-0698. You can also apply online for any of these positions. If they sound good to you, sound exactly what you had in mind, you can do an application to make sure that you are in for that position at drivedecker.com. So again, that's drivedecker.com. So the St. Joe, Missouri to Chicago, if you live on the St. Joe side or if you live on the Chicago side, you can apply for that position. Now, I also have a refrigerated that's home every other day in the Sioux City area, Sioux City, Iowa. And it runs to Chicago as well. Now, you do need to be on the Sioux City side for that position, but home every other day, same story. So, yep, several loads a day from Iowa into Illinois. Could be some multiple stops. So that's one thing that, but with both the St. Joe, Missouri and the Sioux City, there are often multiple stops, and that's usually in the Chicago area. So we also have, this is brand new. Now, before I get that, let me back up just a second. We started to offer guaranteed pay, realizing how important that has been. So we started offering guaranteed pay for both our refrigerated and our flatbed out of the Midwest. So as long as you're making yourself available for dispatch and that you have 100% on-time delivery, that you get all of your paperwork in, and that's going to qualify you for the guaranteed pay. Of course, if you run more miles and your cents per mile based off of your experience exceeds that $12.50 for refrigerated guaranteed pay or the $13.50 for flatbed guaranteed pay, then you're going to get the better of the two. So the better of the two is what you'll get, but it will be at least the $12.50 for refrigerated. And again, the pay per mile is going to fluctuate between 43 to 50 cents a mile based off of your experience. It won't fluctuate, but it will be determined based off of that. The $12.50 doesn't matter how much experience you have. It's flat out $12.50 for the guaranteed pay. Now for the flatbed, guaranteed pay $13.50. Again, doesn't matter how much experience you have. The experience comes into effect when your miles and the pay are calculated to determine if you in fact will be making more on the mileage pay, and in that case you'll be making the mileage pay on that for that week. Does that make sense? I hope so. So that one right there, there is a $5,000 bonus on that. You do need to run a minimum of 110,000 miles for the refrigerated and 100,000 for the flatbed. That being said, with the guaranteed pay and the home weekly, it is going to be more difficult to get the mileage than it is with the over-the-road refrigerated. Not that it's not doable, but it is going to be more difficult because the over-the-road refrigerated gets a lot more miles, 2,700 to 3,200 a week versus the 2,500 or so with the Midwest. So there you go. So doable. What else for let's see, home daily? We talked about that out of Hammond. We have a home daily right now out of Lamar's. Now, I didn't check for an update today. Yesterday, we had 12 positions available for that. So just 12. And you can be either on the Sioux Falls side or the Sioux City, Lamar's area. But it's a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So the 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is going to pay $275 per 12-hour shift. The 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. is going to pay $300 per shift. So the night position pays a little bit more. That one actually, what you're doing is running from Lamar's, Iowa to Sioux Falls, South Dakota and back. Now, if you are hired on to the Sioux Falls area, talk to your recruiter, get a little bit more information on when you can start. The position has started last Monday, so we've got people on it right now. However, we do have 12 more positions available for it, so we do need to get that filled. And if you're on the Sioux Falls side, we need to make sure that we hire opposite of you. So if you're going to do the day shift, we need to make sure we have somebody for the night shift before you can start. On the Lamar side, we're ready when you are. You do need to go through a week orientation before starting in that position. But that is refrigerated. You do get a $250. You get a $2,500. There we go. Much better. A $2,500 sign-on bonus for that. $1,000 will be paid to you on your first dispatch, and then you'll get $250. There we go. For the next 6 months. So that is for the dedicated local position, dedicated daily, home daily position from Lamar's, Iowa to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. There you have it. So like I said, call a recruiter at 888-668-0698 for more details on that one. Another brand new one we have is a dedicated home weekly, and that one is running from the Omaha, Nebraska area or Council Bluffs area over to areas of Illinois, Wisconsin, possibly back into Nebraska. But that one is a dedicated position, and it pays anywhere from 43 cents a mile to 50 cents a mile in the refrigerated division. So that one does have a $5,000 sign-on bonus. So again, 110,000 miles for that. Dedicated, it'll keep you busy, keep you moving. Update on, that one's a lot of night driving too, if I didn't already mention that. That one runs about 2,200 miles a week. So that $5,000 bonus is going to be a lot tighter to get with that dedicated one. It does pay short haul pay though. I mentioned earlier with the short haul pay was anywhere from 2 to 20 cents more per mile in that Midwest division. So that's what that one is going to pay. We did something else that we've done. We've improved our phone system. We've upgraded that. So basically did that. Didn't know anything was wrong with our phone system until we had some people call in and tell us, text us and Facebook us and say they just can't get their driver manager, or they couldn't get the recruiter or whoever. Now we've got direct lines. So when you call in, of course, to get a hold of a recruiter, 888-668-0698. After you've talked to them and you know which recruiter you've been talking to, then they can give you a direct number, which is super handy because then you're not bouncing around all over looking for somebody. You can get straight to them and get your questions answered and application in and all that good stuff. So right away. Also, same for the fleet managers. We have direct numbers for them, so it's going to be a lot easier to get a hold of them. Of course, we do have the Qualcomm system, and all the communication can go over the Qualcomm system. I do recognize, though, that sometimes you just want an answer right now, and you want to get a phone. So I get that. So thanks, Tanya. You have a good day. Good day? I'm an Australian. Good day. So, yeah, so we've got the new phone system. Kind of handy dandy. What else? I have notes. Let's check those notes to make sure that I've covered everything. Our winners. Oh, I didn't. Did you guys know also we expanded our flatbed division? Our flatbed division out of Bessemer, Alabama has just been going. They have been busy getting great miles, all that good stuff. Now we expanded into Oregon, Washington, Denver, Colorado, and California. So now we're hiring out of all of those locations where we haven't in the past, and able to get you some good miles and running a lot of, it's coast to coast in the flatbed division out of Bessemer. It's a lot of Southeast and a lot of Midwest, but clearly heading out west is an option as well. If you live in Georgia and Alabama, we offer weekly home time. So that's fantastic. All right, Matt, did you call Matt says that you've been trying to call 888-668-0698 number. If not, why don't you call my direct number is 406-203-4413. Leave a message so I can get right back to you, because clearly I'm right here right now, but I can get right back to you if you want to go ahead and do that. Okay. And that way you won't be getting that run around. We can take care of you right away. Okay. Awesome. So a lot more miles available, more running lanes in that flatbed division. And in our over-the-road refrigerated division out of Missoula, Montana, we still have the great lanes, great miles, but we are offering weekly home time out of Missoula, Montana. Now, you do need to live within 50 miles at least no more than 50 miles. There we go. That's what I want to say. No more than 50 miles. Hey, Jay. Out of Missoula, Seattle, Washington, Los Angeles, California, or Kennewick, Washington. So we have those options. Maria, we have, hey, good to see you. I just spoke to you on the phone. I'll let you know if that came through, by the way, here in a few minutes. We have orientations almost every Monday. Now, that being said, the week of Christmas, we will not. So for orientations, this coming orientation is going to be on the 17th, and then we'll have another one on the 31st. So we'll be taking the week of Christmas off, but we'll go full bore right in. But however, the week of New Year's, we're going to be right on track with that one. So we won't have we will have orientation on the week of New Year's as well. So there you go. So usually weekly. You need some home time. Are you working like a dog, Jay? Did you talk to your fleet manager and make sure that you got him? Or are you giving me a hard time? Are you going home for Christmas? That's what I should have asked. So Christmas home time. Now, I do need to say, if you are starting orientation here in the next week, we'll do our best to get you towards home for Christmas. I can't guarantee it, so that's something we need to get with your fleet manager. However, we usually get everybody home for Christmas because it's Christmas. We know that you have plans. If you don't have plans and you plan on staying out, that's totally fine. We will do our best to keep you busy as well. Okay, well, hopefully that's the case. You work all the holidays. No surprise, you work. So are you doing holidays this coming week then, this weekend? if you're coming home on Thursday, having a little early holiday. So I'm wondering if we're going to get any snow. I'm in Montana. I went to take pictures in Missoula last week. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, so you do need to get home. Well, not that you didn't before, but yeah, I went to take pictures in Missoula. I wanted to get some snow pictures because it had snowed, and there's no snow. So I didn't get any pictures. Not really. Not really. Not really. Okay, you guys, I wanted to update you a little bit on the miles. Now we're coming into that time of year where with our flatbed, the miles usually will dip a little bit. So I wanted to get an average feel for what our miles are right now. With weekly home time, keep this in mind, by the way, when you are getting home on a weekly basis, your miles most likely, not always, but most likely will be a little bit less than if you're out 2 to 3 weeks because you're cutting more loads short. So that being said, if you are home weekly in the flatbed, the Southern Flatbed Division, let me rephrase that, our Bessemer Flatbed Division, which is our over the road, that one's usually between 2,000 to 2,200 a week or so. That's what we're seeing coming into this slower season. And now these are, they could be more. Most definitely, but this is what we're seeing right now as an average coming into our slower period. If you're out 2 weeks at a time, you're looking at a little bit more, 21 to 2,300. Yeah, a little bit less. Did I say that? Yeah, so your miles are going to be a little bit less with the more home time. Did I say that right, Jay? And then if you're out 3 weeks, it looks like they're averaging about 22 to 24 right now. So that has changed. We were seeing higher numbers, obviously, during other parts of the year. Especially during summer, they were really skyrocketing up there. So that's what we're seeing right now. It's definitely dipped, but we're still getting miles. You're still going to have a good pay. You're still looking at a little over $1,000 a week with that. Maria, yeah, it is possible to have a passenger ride along. Now, normally we have a 90-day wait period for riders, and it's $25 a month, ages 10 to 69. If you need an exception, we can look at that. I can't guarantee that, but we can consider. But it's usually 90-day wait for our rider policy. Now with our Midwest flatbed, there we go. Home time, we're talking about weekly home time, which is really the majority of our flatbed in the Midwest. You're still looking about 2 to 2,200 a week there. And then home every other weekend, so about every 2 weeks. That one's about 21 to 2,300 too. So it lines up with the Southern flatbed right now for miles, home time miles connection. Now, don't forget, we have that guaranteed pay. So if you live in the Midwest, and along from Mason City, Iowa to Fort Dodge to Chicago to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you live along that route, the guaranteed pay might not be a bad idea for that Midwest, especially for that Midwest flatbed. It's $13.50 a week, and it's your little protection. Make sure that you're able to budget a little bit better, right? I have not heard about a local lease deal. So as far as I know, Anthony, that is not a thing yet. They may be discussing it and I don't know it, but as far as I know, I have not heard anything about that. So that's something I think that'd be really hard because with our lease guys, you guys stay out. Well, you stay out a while. You guys stay out often longer than our company drivers because that's how you run your business basically. So it's not, I don't see it working out very well for weekly even. I think weekly it would be tough. Definitely local. I'm out of the Montana terminal. So I'm out of Montana. Ohio, I didn't know, but Iowa is our corporate office. Well, we do have guaranteed down south in the Tifton area. Tifton, Georgia, it's $750 a week for that. $750 is a lot lower than what they're making, but it is that guarantee, because some weeks they'll get like 1,800 miles. Some weeks they'll get 3,000 miles. That's at Conestoga, and it just runs Tifton. Oh, it runs out of Tifton aluminum, but it's Tifton, Georgia. So areas of Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Alabama, and that one's home about every other day, every other day, every 2 days. So yeah, that's what that is. And if you want more information on that, as well as any of the others, you can get a hold of us at 888-668-0698. The other question I was going to answer on that, for that position, so it's $750 for the base, like the low floor, but 1,800 to 3,000 miles a week is pretty common how it fluctuates. However, it is closed between Christmas and New Year's. It's closed for 2 weeks during this time of year. So that makes it bad. West Lynn, I'm not sure where in Oregon that is. Well, it is windy and cold here in Montana, but make sure that you're driving through with loaded trailers. That's what I had to say about that. So let's see. Maria, I'm going to check on something for you and get back to you here shortly. And then I think it was Matt. I'm trying to check my chat here. I went crazy on my chat. There you are. So Matt, I will find out for you as well if you left me a message. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anybody else? Any other questions? I got a little lengthy today. I was speed talking. Is it Chael? Chael, do you have an application in? Do you want me to double check on it for you, or are you interested in putting an application in? You let me know. It's because I can check on that as well. So, I'm writing this down. I will do some checking for you. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Look around, see if I see anything that says I need to tell you it. All right. Well, our recruiters are available, so if you have any questions, you can give them a call. Again, that number is 888-668-0698, and they'll help you out. I do know that we've got a couple of students coming over from ICC today, and Mitch is giving them a tour and showing them around a little bit before orientation. So that's great. Now, remember, students, you have to have a minimum of 160-hour, graduated from a 160-hour minimum course. And yeah, so, and if you have 3 months minimum and no schooling, but you have 3 months minimum of over-the-road tractor trailer experience, and that's recent as well, then we can put you with the trainer and get you moving in the right direction. So, okay, that I will. Thanks, Habit. Okay, I'm pretty famous. All right, I'll check it out. I'll do that right now. Very cool. So you guys have a great rest of the week. Don't forget to congratulate those who won the Blackout Bingo, our little scavenger hunt. Super fun. And then I think I'll be here Monday. What's Monday? The 17th. I will be here next Monday. We are going to talk about goal planning. I know you're going to love that. So that's going to be on our Facebook page next Monday. You can also see us here Tuesday for goal planning, seeing everything and setting you all up for success next year. And we're going to talk about that next week. So awesome. Yes, I will see you next time. Thanks you guys so much. Oh, you too. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.